What's up, everyone? It's Brandon from Flesh and Blood Brothers. I just got back from a local tournament. I did not get the W. I lost my first round, but then I won my next round and I had a bye, so obviously not the most extreme sample size there, but I had a lot of fun playing Chane, and I had some interesting matchups. But first, I'm going to get into the deck. I'll obviously have the deck list in the description below. But this is your Chane running Rosetta Thorn. And I don't have an Arcanite Skullcap, so I ran the Ebonfold, Carrion Husk, Grasp of the Arknight, and Spellbound Creepers. In my sideboard, I do have the Chronodichotomy for Viscerai for the Arcane Barrier 1. And then I do have Aether Ironweave. Typically, Carrion Husk is going to be better than an Aether Ironweave. There was a mirror match where I chose the Ironweave instead of the Husk, and I had the attack action, but I didn't have the non-attack action to pop this and then play a bunch of stuff for my Banish Zone. And not having the extra 5 health made the difference in that matchup. So I find Carrion Husk is a good safe bet and can stop a lot of big attacks as the game gets down to the more grindier phase. But other than that, I'll keep Aether Ironweave in there for now. Actually, I might cut it, commit to the Husk, and I can have another card to sideboard in, but we'll get to that discussion later. So that's all I want to say about the armor for now. And Rosetta Thorn did perform well. I was very often able to swing it for 2 and 2, playing an attack and a non-attack action, especially when you have soul cycles building up. And yeah, so we'll go into that. As you know, Chane creates a soul shackle every turn, which banishes the top card of your deck. And then a lot of your deck is going to have cards that can be played from your Banish Zone. So for the red attacks, I run 3 Unhallowed Rites. This is pretty much a staple in Chane right now. Basically, you can play it from your hand or you can play it from your Banish Zone after you've played a non-attack action. So the combo for this is Howl from Beyond, which can also be played from the Banish Zone at any time. So you're going to pay 2 for Howl Beyond, your next attack is +3, and then you're going to play an Unhallowed Rites, which will immediately put a Howl from Beyond on the bottom of your deck. And the even more big brain play with this is you can know, let's say you have like 5 or 6 or 7 shackles built up, and you'll know which cards are going to be banished and which cards you're going to draw in your hand. So if you know this is going to be in Banish, that's the perfect time to put it at the bottom of your deck so it shows up again in your Banish Zone. You can recur it with these 3 cards. So that's why Unhallowed Rise is a slam dunk in this deck and really makes it go. Next attack is Ghostly Visit. Costs 1, attacks for 4. You can play it from your hand or your Banish Zone. And it blocks for 3, so this is just some good meat and potatoes. Can't say anything bad about it. I'll definitely keep it at 3 for the foreseeable future. 3 Riffbind. Again, you can play it from your Banish Zone, and it gains attack power based on the number of non-attack actions you play this turn. So, if you have a Howl from Beyond, that's +3, +1 from this. So this is going to be coming in for 7. A lot of times you have this and a plunder run, let's say. So if you have a plunder run and a Howl from Beyond, that's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 damage for 3 resources total. So that's pretty fucking bonkers. So Riffbind is going to be another one of those bread and butter 3 ofs in every Chane deck for the rest of history, forever. Bounding Demigod. This is becoming one of my favorite cards. This card is just so simple and elegant. You can play it from your hand or your Banish Zone if you've played a non-attack action. And so again, Howl from Beyond, play this. It's an attack for 4 for free, or you can play a plunder run from the arsenal or your hand in a pinch. Minimalism. So all your non-attack actions are gonna let you play this in your advantage zone and give it +1, if not more, and it's a 0 cost. So MVP, love this card. So then these cards don't have blood debt, these are just regulars. Flock of the Featherwalkers is popular now in Chane. Run 3 of those. Cost 1. You have to reveal a card from your hand with cost 1 or less, so either 1 or 0, and that's pretty much most of the deck. And then from that, you create a quicken token. So in those kind of middle of the game turns where you have to block, you can kind of throw this, create your quicken token, so that on your next turn, after you get some more soul shackles built up, you can have a soul shackle go again, and you can have a quicken go again and really chain together a bunch of attacks in one turn. So Flock of the Featherwalkers performed very well for me. I will be keeping that at 3 for sure. That brings us to Belittle. This is a popular card in chain packages right now. It costs 1, it does 3, it has built-in go again, and you can reveal an attack with 3 or less attack, which is not every attack, but there's a good amount with 3 or less in the base. To search your deck for minimalism, so you can get the red one or the blue one to buff your next attack, or get the blue one for resources. So I do like this card, but I found it pretty lackluster in my hand. I would consider cutting it down to 2. Yeah, if I had to make notes, I would cut this down to 2 to make room for more stuff in your sideboard or more defense reactions. 3 just felt a little too much and off Chane's flavor a little bit. Disagree with me, or let me know in the comments if you think that's a smart move or not. But that's my impression after playing tonight. Next, 2 Command and Conquer. I would consider 3 because it's just such a good card. Cost 2, attacks for 6, blocks for 3. Threatens the arsenal card and no defense reactions. So I have 2 because these are like 90 bucks a piece. If I had 3, I would probably make room for it, but I would say 2 is the minimum, and that's what I got right now. That's what I'm working with. And then before I go to this card, I'll go to 2 Exude Confidence. This card stays in the sideboard a lot, but it's good against certain matchups like Dorinthia, Kano, Oldhim, Bravo. So it's a free attack for 4. It only blocks for 2, but the main bread and butter is you can't play instants or defense reactions to the combat chain. So that's mostly for Oldhim. And then this card is just insanity. Soul Reaping. It costs 6, but instead you banish 1 or more cards from your hand with blood debt. And instead you gain that much resources. So you Soul Shackle with Chane. It gives your next shadow attack go again. You go here, boom. And then let's say you have 2 of these in your hand, boom, you just gain 2 floating resources to play cards from your advantage zone. And it swings for 6. Howl from Beyond or a Plunder Run brings it up to 9. Just an absolutely insane card. Every game I play it is so satisfying. Yeah, such a busted card. A shame when it gets banished from a shackle, but when you can play it, boy, does it do some freaking damage. So those are the reds. Those are the red attacks. Here's the red non-attack actions, which are equally as important because remember, we run Rosetta Thorn, so we want these to be pretty even. And you see these stacks are relatively similar, but we do have more actions in the blue and yellow stack as well. So, we want to keep it balanced so we can swing with 2 and 2 on most turns that we want to swing. So we got 3 Hall from Beyond. This is really the glue of the deck as far as non-attack actions go. We cycle it back in with our Unhallowed Rites. So we're always keeping it in the deck after we use it. And then we play it from our Banish Zone to buff our next attack by 3. So just absolutely bonkers card. I saw someone running yellow of these. Yellow costs the same and it buffs for 2 instead of 3. I would consider maybe putting in some yellows because it's more blood dead cards that hit on your shackles. And Howl from Beyond is just so busted. If you can use it most turns, I think it would do you good. Next up, we have 3 minimalism. So this kind of combos with the Belittle package that I was talking about earlier. I would consider also cutting 3 down to 2 in minimalism as well. I mean, it's a good card. It gives your next attack action cards with 3 or less base damage plus 3. So good news and bad news with that. We have a lot of 3 damage, but we do have some 6, some 5s. There's some 3s. We got a 4 and then 4 here. So it can whiff on you if the game's getting kind of grindy. So I might consider cutting that down to 2 to put more room into the deck. Again, let me know in the comments below if you agree with cutting minimalism red from 3 to 2. It is a good card, but it does have some small downsides. 3 Shadow Puppetry. I do really enjoy this card every time it comes up. I will keep this at 3 and I will mainboard this pretty much every time. Gives you any attack action card you play against +1 and go again. If it hits, you can look at the top card of your deck and banish it. So if it's a blood dead card, you can essentially get an extra card to play that turn. Combos with Soul Reaping gives a go again. Combos with Exude Confidence. Combos with nothing more crazy than giving Command and Conquer another +1 and giving a go again. So amazing card. Combos with pretty much every attack in the deck. Always very welcome in my hands. Next up is the bad boy red plunder run. This card is just fucking insane. Next time you hit with an attack action card, you draw a card. And then if it's played from the arsenal at the beginning of your turn, it can be any time during your turn. Your next attack is +3. So again, if you freaking plunder run this with 2 blood deck cards in your hand, you play this for free, gain 2 resources. It's 9 if it hits you draw a card. Like that can just really swing the game and just do some insanity. And then our last red is a defense reaction. We have 2 Fate Foreseen. I do like this card. Opt 1 lets you look at the top card of your deck and see if you're going to Soul Shackle a good card or not. So I do like it. I might try to find room. So we're cutting some cards out. I might try to run 3, or I might want to run 2 of these and 2 Sigils of Suffering. It just depends on how much fat we can trim from this deck. But Fate Foreseen, great at 2 in most matchups. Might even up to the 3 in some. So there is all of our red cards. And here we have the yellows, which play a pretty good role here. So we got 3 Art of War, of course. Art of War is insane in Chane, and you really can't go without it. This card does a lot of useful things for us. So we get to choose 2 of these. For sure, you're going to banish a card from your hand to draw 2 cards. So if you have a card with Blood in your hand, you banish that. You can play it from your Banish Zone anyway. And then you draw 2 cards off the top of your deck, giving you critical resources you need to play cards out of your Banish Zone. And then you can either give your next attack Go Again. So you can get Go Again from this, Go Again from Chane's Hero ability, and Go Again from a Quicken token, all in the same turn sometimes. So you can really just chain your attacks together, lol, and just threaten so much damage. Or if your resources are limited, or you're trying to go hit big attacks, and you can have you already have Chains Go Again and maybe a Quicken token, you don't need to go again. You can gain all attack action cards, gain +1. So what I did is I had a Captain's Call, which is the next card, by the way, a Captain's Call, and I was able to play a bunch of demigods from my banish zone at additional damage because I had stacking go-agains. So, yeah, and same place with Art of War, it's always going to be in 3. I do have 3 yellow Captain's Calls. They don't always all come in, but I might change my mind on that. So, you can give an attack action card with 1 or less +2 or go again. And if you notice, a lot of our attacks, let's get to the attacks. A lot of our attacks cost 1 or less. So 1 or 0. So all of these hit with yellow Captain's Call. Very useful card. Gives us really flexible turns, really wide turns, or we can always pitch it for 2 resources. And then we have 2 Seeping Shadows. I think you only need 1. It's a good card. I like it. But since it costs 3 resources, you're not going to be able to play it as often as you think. So I do like this at 1 instead of 2. So I'm definitely going to cut 1 out and make some more room for some defensive reactions or something. But if you don't know what it does, you can play it from your banish zone. The next attack action card with 1 or less gains +1 and go again. So that really helps us go wide and play a lot of cards at the end of the game. So, yeah, I won't have the resources to ever play 2 in the same turn. So this is really an end game card. Like, this is not very useful until you have a huge banish zone to play. So I would cut this down to 1 and make more room. But let me know what you think in the comments. I would appreciate it. But those are my yellows. And then we'll go to the blues. So we got the bad boy, the Eclipse. The Eclipse, you can play it from your banish zone. If you've played 6 or more cards with Blood Debt, you create an Urser the Soul Reaper token, which is a shadow attack for 6 every turn. So pretty busted. It can help you really end the game towards the end because you do need a very, very large banish zone to play 6 to satisfy the conditions of the Eclipse. So I'm not going to go into it too in depth, but yeah, basically your Seeping Shadows is going to help. Your Howl from Beyonds are going to help. Anything that can give you go again, like Shadow Puppetry, playing Blood Debt cards, Art of Wars, Captain's Calls. But yeah, you're going to need to play 6 Blood Debt cards in 1 turn to summon that bad boy. So it's possible for sure. I didn't do it in this tournament, but someone else did who was playing just a similar build. So good enough. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this back in its place. Here we go. So Eclipse, I do main board it most of the time because I have faith that I can summon Urser at some point, and it pitches for 3. So I don't see anything too wrong with keeping it there. We have 1 blue unhallowed rites. So I like this. It blocks for 3, pitches for 3, and then in a pinch, if we've already used up all our other unhallowed rites, we can throw this down to get our Howl from Beyonds back. Keep that going because you really want those Howl from Beyonds to close out the game. So we do have an insurance blue unhallowed rites in here. I might consider upping it to 2, but it's so weak that it might just stay at 1. Then we got 3 blue plunder run. So blue plunder run, most of the time you're going to be pitching. And then when you do play it from Arsenal, it still gains +1 and it gives you that draw card. So really good utility card. Yellow, I don't know. I would have to look at my attack. If I need more attack actions, I would add it in yellow. But I think I would add more defensive reactions. So this is at 3 for now, and it'll stay at 3 for sure. I'm just wondering if a spot for yellow will ever open up. And then we have blue, mauve, and skies at 3. So most of the time I am pitching this for resources, but this is a card that can help you use Eclipse and summon Urser, because it can give your next Rune Blade attack go again. And if it hits, it creates a Rune Chant token. So Rune Chant will give your next attack an arcane damage, which is always cool. So Mauve Skies is very useful, extremely useful. 3 of, for sure. So we have 3 Flock of the Featherwalkers. I'd like this at 3, mostly because I have 3 foil. And, you know, it's a solid attack for 3, and it creates that Quicken token. So if you do have to play it, you can play it, still do 3, and create that Quicken token. But most of the time I can, you know, block for 2, which isn't the best, but sometimes you need to block for 2, and then you pitch it for 3 resources. So that's going to stay at 3 for sure. Blue, Shadow of Urser. Love it, love it, love it. Blocks for 3. It's a free attack for 2. And if you have another card with Blood Debt in your hand, when you play this, either from Banish or your hand, you can banish the Blood Debt card from your hand to give it built-in go again. So again, that's another pivotal card in your Eclipse turns. Yeah, absolutely need to have 3 of these if you're playing Chane. Next up is 3 blue Bonding Demigods. Again, I have nothing but praise for the red Bonding Demigods. This, you know, it's more Blood Debt for your shackles. It's free, free attack for 2 that you can buff. So, you know, free attacks are always fun. And yeah, mostly you're going to be blocking or pitching. But yeah, very useful card. Then we got Vexing Malice at 3. This is not a Blood Debt attack, but it does block 3. It does pitch for 3. It hits for 1, but it deals 2 arcane damage to the opponent. So towards the end of the game, they're either running Arcane Barrier 1 or none against you. You can sneak in 2 arcane damage for 1 resource and kind of help snipe out the game. Very useful card, and it blocks for 3. So absolutely good card, worth the slot. Now we got 2 blue minimalism, because if you recall, playing a red Belittle can search out a red or blue minimalism. So sometimes you just want to search out the blue just to have 3 resources in your hand. So I like keeping this at 2. I might even be a madman and cut it down to 1, because either it's going to be in my deck already, or if I ever draw it, I'll most likely be pitching it, so it'll stay in as a target for Belittle. I think that is pretty good justification for cutting it down to 1. Let me know what you think in the comments. Cutting minimalism down to 1 in blue. So it'd be 2 red Belittles, 2 red minimalisms, and 1 blue minimalism. So it'll only take up 5 cards in your deck. Yeah. So we'll see. 2 time snap potions. I like it. I main board it most of the time. It doesn't block, unfortunately, but it does pitch for 3, which a lot of times you just need like a 3 pitch in your hand will go a very long way in this deck. So I do like it for that. And then you can use the Spellbound Creepers instant effect to throw this bad boy down and get more action points, or you can save it for those turns that you're trying to play a bunch of Blood Debt to play Eclipse. So I like it at 2. It's going to stay there. And then we have 2 blue Captain's Calls. I like it. 3, I don't know. I don't know if 3 would be worth it or not, but, you know, it hits the Exude Confidence. It hits the Bounty Demigods. It hits the Shadow of Ursers. You do have a decent handful of 0 attacks in here. Not too many, so I think 2 might be the right call. But yeah, most of the time I'm going to be pitching this for resources. But again, on those big Eclipse turns, it'll give those Bounty Demigods go again, or you can buff it for +2 if you need that. If you need the damage. So versatile card, keep it at 2. I'm fine with that. And then this bad boy, Invert Existence. This actually won me a game because I didn't have enough resources to play it on my turn, but I was able to play it as an instant on my opponent's turn and finish the game because they only had 2 health left. So it only costs 1, it deals 2 arcane, and it pitches for 3 resources. I liken it to, having it at 3 might be pretty cool, because just leaking through that damage at instant speed is nice. But unfortunately, not every deck, well, yeah, majority of the decks it'll work against, but like Dorinthia and Kato, you might not be able to use this against them, but yeah, pretty much every other character in the game you can. So 2 is solid. I don't know, there's a discussion to be had for 3 in this deck. It might be kind of fun and saucy to run it at 3. It's, you know, it's always welcome to have more blues. And it only costs 1, it does 2. And you can play it for your banish zone, and it has blood debt. So the only bad thing about it is it doesn't block. But yeah, I don't know, man. I might have to up this to 3. So there you have it. There's the deck. I already touched on some of the combos, but yeah, I just wanted this to be more of like a tournament report and breakdown. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I had a lot of fun playing Chane tonight. And yeah, I do think that I would main the Carrion Husk in this build. Rosetta Thorn does work. And yeah, I noted on the minimalism Belittle package. And yeah, I would really like to fit some Sigil of Suffering in here. And definitely take out one of these Seeping Shadows. I think you only need 1 to do the job. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you would change about this deck. And of course, that link is going to be in the description. And I hope you guys enjoyed the deck tech video. We've been doing a lot of box openings. I hope you guys have been enjoying that too. So hope you enjoy content like this. Looking forward to discussing the changes of the deck with you. And yeah, I had a lot of fun playing Chane. Very fun character. I like the flavor of the Soul Shackle banishments and the big turns towards the end of the game. So yeah, let me know what you think. Can't wait to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next video.